We want YouTubers.
Yeah, we're here on YouTube right now. Hi guys. We are going to have a chat to you about the Burris Handheld. Dad did a... I don't know if you guys know how cameras work, but normally one person talks and then the other people shut the fuck up.
You do realise that I have an antler on my head.
You set the camera placement, so that's
You did, you were
on
right there.
you. No.
And Dad set the seats.
You shouldn't have sat in front of a deer antler.
But now she's too far that way.
Oh, Gust. Oh my goodness.
We're
Hi guys.
out of wonk. Hey, hi.
We are going to chat about the Burris Thermal Handheld today.
You got all three of us.
What did I just
This
say
is why you don't get all three of
when
us
other
often.
people talk.
No, I'm trying to. It's not very interesting. I'm trying to, excite the thing.
Trying to do videos with you. Oh my goodness. We're going to talk about the Burris Thermal Handheld today. Dad did an unboxing a couple of months ago and he was very sad that not very many people watched his video, so I feel like you guys should jump on and watch his unboxing video.
See, here's the issue I have, right? I put a panel up on, is it called a panel? No, it's called a story up on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I get like 1,400 in 24 hours, 1,500 in 24 hours.
And then what happens when you put
and people go, oh, that's cool. That's really nice. And I'm like, hey, people are learning. That's nice.
And how many did you get on YouTube?
700.
In how many months?
6 months. I'm devastated.
All right, the Burris Thermal Handheld. We actually got it out and had a use of it.
How to use?
Yeah, we used
it. Well, all
it.
three of us have used it now.
Yeah.
So that's why you got all three of us here today.
And we're going to have a quick chat about how we found it after we actually unboxed it. So with the unboxing videos, obviously
I found it when it got delivered.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great dad joke. We obviously when we do the unboxing videos, we haven't actually used it yet because we're unboxing it with you guys so that you can see what we see when we open it up. So now we've had a bit of a play and we kind of have seen the benefits of using it, some of the pros and some of the cons and stuff. So now we're going to have a chat about it if we ever get to that part.
100% it finds animals for you.
Yeah, Dad was the first one to use it, so tell us what happened when you took it up to the farm. Oh, actually, no, you used it here on the deck first, didn't you? He was perving on the neighbours. He was such a...
That's really creepy.
It was actually a little bit embarrassing. But, because I was out, we set up a little bit high, we're a 2-story house, so I was looking around. I wasn't kind of looking at anyone in particular. And I was kind of looking for dogs and cats and things like that. And I could see the heat signatures of people in their houses, like behind their windows and stuff. I was like, ooh, that's a bit rude. Yeah. So be careful. Be careful. You might see things you don't really want to see.
What's really cool that I liked about it was when you're out spotlighting and you legit can't see shit. When you put that up, you can see hundreds of animals that you couldn't even see.
And then you go, what the hell?
Yeah, and it's like, do I have a really crappy spotlight?
Well, I guess that's like a pro and a con of these kind of thermal devices. I mean, this is obviously a very, very good device, and Burris have put a lot of effort and time into it, and certainly their technology is great. But we found that when we first started using it, and maybe this is just because we're nongs and we don't really know how to use them that well, because if we were all kind of military spec, we probably would have shot everything.
Yeah.
But you're kind of looking at something, and I had the thermal, and I'm going, Tash, over there, like this. Well, I was trying to be quiet, but
and I'm like,
over there.
I can't see anything in the scope.
And we're trying to put the spotlight on this thing, but because the wallaby's like bent over behind a little bush or something like that, you can't actually see that with the thermal. You can only see the heat signature of the animal.
Yeah.
And you can't see like bushes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and fine bushes and stuff.
Not always, yeah.
So the spotlight, you can't see the animal because of the bush, but the thermal can see the animal when you're looking at it. So it's kind of a funny dichotomy because you're kind of sitting there thinking, I know what the damn animal is, but I can't get it.
And also with a kangaroo, you know it's a kangaroo. Like they don't look really like anything else. So you're sitting there like, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah, that's not a large rat or something like that.
I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
I just can't shoot it because I can't see it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the benefits of the handheld over a thermal scope. So we've also got the rifle scope, which is a thermal, to put on a rifle and try that.
We haven't unboxed that yet.
No.
You shouldn't be telling people.
Well, we will unbox it.
It's a surprise, but...
We will unbox
Now it's not a surprise, but there's only 600 people that watch this anyway.
Real butthead.
So one of the benefits of the thermal handheld over one that you would actually have on your scope is that because we've got like a spotter, so Dad was our spotter with the thermal, and then we had the spotlight with the rifle, it means that you're not seeing something in the actual thermal scope and then thinking, oh, I can take a shot because it's on your rifle. You actually have to then find it in the spotlight and be able to shoot it. So I kind of thought it was a bit of a, like, yeah, it's kind of frustrating because you can see things that you can't necessarily shoot, but it is a benefit of getting the handheld one because it means that then when you're finding it in the spotlight, you can see if there are things in front of your shot properly.
It was also, like, the first time we used it was kind of a little bit frustrating too because we do a lot of spotlighting and we're kind of used to doing what we do. Like, you know, you get the spotlight out, you find the animal and then bang, and then you find your next animal and then bang, and you're kind of just moving quite reasonably quickly. But with the thermal, you're picking up so much more stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have seen, and you're going, it's just there, like, and you're trying to kind of coerce someone into shooting at something, you know, because you can see it, you know, but it's not there.
It means that you spend a lot more time in each paddock. Like, we normally would do a sweep through a paddock, and it might take us 10 minutes to do a sweep through the whole paddock with the spotlight. But when you've got the thermal, like, we saw stuff off in the distance. So we got out of the car with the handheld spotlight and went for a walk and went and found it and then shot that and then came back to the car. So it's a good thing because you're actually taking the time to shoot what's there and you're finding a lot more.
And you probably do end up shooting more at the end, but...
Yeah, well, we certainly did that night, didn't we?
Yeah, we shot a lot that night.
Yeah. We'll put up some footage
but
too.
But the frustration levels were different. So you got to expect that it's going to change the way. If you're used to doing it one way, when you're spotlighting and you're doing crop protection or something like that,
it changes it for you.
Then it's going to change things for you because the person that's using this, and that was primarily me that whole night. You really can't, once you've got your eye on this thing, because it's a digital light, and you're in the dark, as soon as you take it off your eye, you're kind of a little bit blinded, And
I mean, that's coming from Dad, who is a little bit blind anyway. But
mate, the first time I picked it up, I seen that 40-ton tusker.
You saw what?
40, like he was 40-pound flipping elephant.
Are you talking about the neighbour again?
No, he was hung, but not 40 pounds. Anyway, we didn't see any elephants. And I don't really want to talk about the neighbour anymore.
Conversation got really bad really quickly.
But it is I'm trying to recover here. It is actually an issue that the person who is using it is going to be blinded by what they see.
It's a different screen to look through because you're looking at its light in your eyes. You do have to then adjust back to the night, but it didn't really matter for you because you weren't shooting.
No, that's right. I didn't shoot all night.
I do feel like there's pros and cons to having this and to having the scope that actually has the thermal in it, because if you have the scope that has the thermal in it, you don't need a second person with you. But this, it's pretty much you need a second person there to be the one that's like, yep, it's right there, and you have the rifle. I can't even.
Well, I actually did take it out while I was spotlighting by myself, and so I can tell you.
Were you able to go from?
That's what was quite hard. So, like, when I was at the farm, I had a couple of... Because that first paddock we've got where the soak is, and you guys don't know that, but we've got a soak in front of the house, but
I also don't know that, so it's cool.
And we can... It's almost inevitable that whenever we're going shooting on the farm, we cannot shoot any of the wallabies and stuff that are in that paddock, because as soon as we start the side-by-side, they're off, they're gone. And they head off at a great pace. But I was able to pull the thermal out, sit on a couple of bales of hay, actually find them, and I shot 5 in that one paddock just from the farmyard. So it was fantastic from that point of view, but I did have that same issue where I had to kind of close my eye for a couple of minutes, try and get, or not a couple of minutes, but a couple of seconds, try and get... Well, they didn't know I was there, so try and get rid of the
blinding light.
that light kind of thing you see, and then with the handheld spotty, I lit that up, and I got the rifle scope on them, and bang, put the scope on, and I knew where each one of them was, so I was just able to light them up, bang, 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 and I shot 5 or 6, so that was good. What are you laughing at?
Said bang, put the scope on them, and I was like,
Man, I can shoot with it.
You don't even have to pull the trigger.
I've been doing it that long, just pull the trigger and away it goes. Bullets
some of the
nowhere to
features-
hit. Like I got these Burris bullets.
Oh,
and
yeah, Burris bullets.
Yeah, I
It's
just shoot
a
this.
scope shoots
I
at
just
them.
shoot this thing in the air, and it goes and just finds the animal for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't even have to look.
No, it's locked into the scope. See this thing
That's-
here, man. You
that's an
push
unboxing
that.
coming
You
soon.
push that big red
Oh,
button.
that's where our thing is for the camera. We double-sided taped our camera to the tripod.
Because they couldn't find that. Dopes. Anyway, we better talk about this.
Yeah, so it's got zoom on it as well, so you can actually digitally zoom with it. What is it, 2 times, 4 times? I can't remember.
No,
much
not
is
up to
zoom
9 times. I
Oh,
think.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is worked pretty well.
Yeah.
We actually had in a few of our episodes, we used footage from that, which was awesome. So if you like filming your hunts, that
And
is
you can
also
put
really
some
cool.
footage in this as well, can't you?
Yeah, I will. I'll show them
Yeah.
some footage. And
There
that-
was some things we didn't put in because, man, it was vicious.
Yeah, it looks quite graphic.
It was super vicious. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a couple of... Because we try and headshot a lot of the wallabies we shoot. And because we recover a lot of the meat for the dogs and stuff like this, which is
For
great.
us.
Yeah, but, man, seeing a thermal head explode... That's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
So we didn't post any of those,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But
for
if
you
you
guys.
do-
Possum with
if
a
you-
shotgun.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
If you do like filming your hunts, it is really cool, and it can hook up to your phone as well. So it's got an app, and you can pretty much live stream whatever you're seeing on that. And you could have set up, like if you had a, what are they called, like those cradles where you could have your phone set up on your side-by-side or in your car or whatever, and have your phone hooked to that, and anything you point that at, you'll see on your phone. So that stuff was pretty cool. I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
that kind of technology, and it
Yeah.
saves it all to it so that you can like record it all. And
Now, like, as far as your kind of price is concerned, they're not cheap. They're not going to be cheap. You know, this kind of gear, if it's any good. I know that a lot of guys will run around with those kind of little tubes for a while that
What
come
tubes?
out.
What are
There's
you
these
talking
little
about?
thermal tubes that come out that were
All
made
I can
by...
see in my head is one of those glow sticks.
Yeah, they were kind of like that, just a little tube thing like this, but they were just, I mean, they were probably good for your backyard, but they were hopeless for
okay.
hunting and stuff like this. But this is semi-professional, or probably even reaching into your professional zone of what these devices are like, and it's got a number of different color modes. And heat signature modes.
Yeah, well, I found that quite interesting actually, having a look at the farm, just seeing like the different, because it seemed to pick up differently depending on what light mode you were in on that.
Yeah.
Which was cool. So you can have a play around with that too when you get it.
I found
If
that
you
a
get
little
I'm
bit.
a bit like we never got to track anything with it. Like,
Yeah.
because you're supposed to be able to blood trail with them and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
everything we shot died.
Oh well, I tell you, like
So-
having like seeing the
What can you do?
seeing the explosion or the back end come out of something and seeing how well it picked up on that,
Yeah.
like the drops and
Yeah.
splatter and stuff, I would definitely believe that
Yeah.
you'd be able to track. If you
Yeah.
got it,
Although-
like I mean, if it was a day later, you're not going to have any heat in the blood.
It
or
was
anything like
pretty
that.
funny. We went out spotlighting on a canola farm recently, and we took this with us. And I didn't really know how to use it that well. And at one point, I think Jess shot a kangaroo, and it was like a couple 100 meters up this hill, and so she had to go up the hill after it. And I'm sitting there like watching, and I couldn't talk to her at all because we didn't have any walkie-talkies or anything. And it was like, you could see the kangaroo here, and she was like all the way over here, and I'm like, no, she's nowhere near it. She's not gonna find this thing.
So instead of yelling out or something, she just left.
I tried, but she couldn't hear me. So what was that?
I'd like all in all. I mean, I rate this thing pretty darn high. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been like from the point of view of being able to see the things you can't see.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing out there like it. You know, as
Yeah.
far as other than other thermals.
Okay, like
obviously,
out
but-
of 5, usability, what would you give it?
Usability, I'd give it a 4 easily. Like you press a button and it turns on, and you pointed at you pointed out.
Well,
the
I
field.
disagree. It should be out of 5
Why?
because nobody has out of 5. It's out of 10.
I did think
5
when she said
stars.
out of 5,
Yeah.
it was a bit weird. I was
I
like,
know.
who rates out
I
of
was
5?
thinking 5 stars.
Oh, it's
5 stars. Yeah, we're not a hotel. It's the thermal device.
Okay, out of 10.
8.
Alright,
I
8
double
for
it.
usability.
Well, yeah, I said 4 for 5.
I
so-
go 8.5.
alright. Alright, what about
What
price?
do you go? Well, we've got
Well,
to start.
I'm going to say 7 because I struggled a little bit, but that's on me.
Well, you can't blame the device then. You get 7, the device gets 9.
No, she gets 4. The device gets 9. We even it out.
Usability, me, not so much. Price point.
I mean, they're expensive, but they're a lot of fun to play with, and they're not as expensive as thermals used to be. Thermals used to be super expensive, out of any recreational
Home user,
hunters, price range. And that's certainly not like what you pay for a scope these days. You could easily afford something like that if you're paying for scopes anyway. So I definitely don't think that it's inaccessible.
And go on. What's your next one?
Oh, so we didn't give a score.
The price
7.
point. Yeah, it's reasonable.
7. Yeah.
I'll go 8.
Oh, I'll go
Because I can afford more than you people.
Yeah, I was going to say.
For comparing wages, I better give it a 6 and you better give it a 9.
6, I better give it a 3.
Go on, what's the next one?
You guys assumed that I had a next one.
Oh, okay. Righto.
Right.
Well, usability
I was just
and
kind of
price
thinking
point.
as I went.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was really impressed with was the actual digital screen. We've used a couple of different brands now of digital screen based scopes.
There's another one we won't name, but it sucked.
we don't bag companies out.
Right.
But
it
we
sucked.
weren't
Not
real
the
happy
company.
with
The
it.
company's probably a good company, but
The company is a good company because we have other things from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some screens are really crappy, like real grainy and pixelated and stuff like that, and not real clear.
It's
and
also,
it makes it,
you know what really ticked me off with a couple of ones we used?
What?
Was the clunkiness.
Yeah.
Like how they were, like you push a button and it doesn't respond straight away, or
real slow.
Yeah, or it does something after you've, like there's a second delay or something like this.
Yeah.
You know, that's really frustrating. Where this thing, like everything was just kind of just snap, and it's done. You know?
I think because we're all so used to using smartphones and stuff like that these days that we expect it just to be instant. And the Burris Thermal definitely held up to that.
Yeah.
I think it worked pretty well. Even when you
The
were
smartphone of thermals.
even when you were streaming it, like it was pretty quick streaming to the phone, like live streaming between the phone and it.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't
like
degrade the quality of your use or anything like that either while you were doing it. So that's all pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as, kind of ease of use is concerned, it was super easy to start and just go with, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't even read the manual.
Well,
Probably should have.
Speaking of,
I did. Yeah.
I have a question. Does this have Burris's usual...
Forever warranty?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Warranty. Limited warranty, and Burris will repair or replace your product if it's defective.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. I don't know if that's only on their glass scopes or what it is. We'll have to check with them. We'll let you guys know in the video whether or not it comes under that. But yeah,
No, it's covered by the limited warranty, not the
forever warranty.
Not the forever, but it's still, if it's defective, they'll repair it or replace it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool.
It's still got some cool stuff with it, like, Burris always provide like these kind of things where you got a little sleeve and stuff to protect it.
See, it's really
It's got
well
an
used.
HDMI cable with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if there's any Burris guys watching this, I apologise in advance, but I had this banging around in the car for several months, and the sleeve never seen the light of day. So
No, it's been in the box the whole time.
yeah, it's certainly had a fair bashing from us in the ATV or the side by side
And in the car.
in the car, in
They're
the
definitely
full
not gonna
drive
hold out their warranty
hunting.
to you.
We're not
Well, it's
real
still working,
nice
so-
to our gear.
Yeah,
To be
I
honest
mean.
with you.
That's probably true. I mean, for the most part, we use the gear, in an industrial sense in many
And
ways.
like the amount of times that we've turned around and the kids have picked it up and have been playing with it and stuff,
Yeah,
and they haven't
it's like-
managed to stuff it up yet, so...
Oh, it's out the side of the side-by-side and pick that up!
Anyway, all in all, I highly recommend. I mean, if you want to up your spotlighting game and find more animals and stuff like that, it is an awesome tool for that.
Probably
for that
one thing
purpose.
to talk about in Australia anyway.
I'm sorry,
I
that
don't
was
know.
actually my wrap up, so we're finished
Was it?
now.
Well,
That's it, we're
not
done.
Finished.
That's it.
We're
No more
not
wrap up.
finished. But we're nearly finished because this is getting boring. But
Speak for yourself. I was
I
thoroughly
want to keep more people watching
Okay,
on YouTube.
cool.
We'll talk more about the neighbours, will you?
No, I'm over the neighbours. Anyway, so the one thing you got to be careful with in Australia is this is actually considered a spotlight in most of the states here in Australia.
Here in Tassie, it doesn't really come under any recommendation yet or regulation.
But a lot of our other states, if you have this out and about at night and you don't have a crop protection permit
Or a spotlighting permit,
you can actually get done. So you need to be aware and a little bit careful.
And they are expensive, and you don't want that confiscated.
Well, not only that, you can be fined.
Yeah.
And potentially even you could in some circumstances maybe even lose your license. So just be careful. If you do get some of these, look up your regulations, make sure you know what they are.
And
don't do anything silly with it. And the other thing from an ethical point of view, and I know that people get pissy with this when you have an opinion, and whatever else, but I wouldn't take something like this deer shooting or something like that. I mean, to me, if you're going to go and hunt a deer, then you're going to go and hunt it. You're not going to sit there at 4:30
what about
in
crop
the
protection
morning.
for deer?
If you're doing crop protection shooting on a farm, then I think it's awesome.
Crop protection is perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and I think that's really for us what this is a tool for. It's like spotlighting. I mean, we wouldn't go and spotlight a deer to put on the wall either. So we use this as if it is like a spotlight. We use it for crop protection when we're out to get numbers down and to get as many as we can and use the advantages that we've got on hand. So
you could, like we talked about before, you could very well use this for blood tracking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that if you took this out and you were deer hunting, it would be questionable that was the purpose that you took it out for.
But in saying that, it records. So you could go, this is my blood trail.
Yeah. But you do have to be careful with the legislation as to whether or not that counts as, like if you're out camping overnight in a deer hunting spot for, within the stag season or something like that, I probably wouldn't take it with you. Because if the game guys do come out and they find that on you, they're probably going to assume the worst.
What it'd be good for?
But crop protection and on farms and stuff like that, absolutely awesome. And definitely recommend it to give it a go.
Yeah, I agree.
When you next at your local hunting shop, just ask them if you can have a look at it if they've got one.
Yeah, absolutely. Or come round home, we'll give you a look.
Do not come to our house.
That was okay. They want to check it out.
We own guns.
If you show up unannounced, you will likely get an unfriendly welcome. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Remember to check us out on our socials. You can find us on at Hunt Shack on Instagram or Facebook, and then we've got our personal profiles as well. You'll find links to that and stuff on our Hunt Shack profile. Check out iamhunter.net for more tutorials, reviews, and videos that we do. Tash and I are about to jump off this video and film a soap making video with some venison tallow. So check that out once that goes up on the channel.
Teach me how.
Oh, you didn't include me in that?
Do you want to come and make some soap with us, darling?
Damn,
I mean, really, we just want our views. If you're in it, we won't get as many.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy that I don't get those types
Plus,
of
you
views.
get real weird when we show our feet.
Yeah.
You're going to wash your feet.
Well, what else?
No. The video will actually have Dad using the soap in the shower, so.
Alright. Check out all that stuff. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button that we're supposed to hit?
The bell.
Do that.
It's a bell.
So that you get notifications when we post videos. We are getting better at posting videos more regularly. So, yeah, do all the things. Thanks for watching.
Finished.